Today we are going to be changing the oil on a Yamaha tri-fuel 2000 generator. Today we have everything we need. We have the king of the oils. This is Mobil 1 fully synthetic 15,000 mile oil. This is very important because it's fully synthetic. It gives the best protection through heat, long cycles where the generator runs for long extended periods of time, and this is what you want to use in the extended run when you're going to need it. We have a couple towels to clean up messes. We have a funnel. Today we have our tri-fuel generator. Today one of the fuels we're going to use is natural gas. So before we change the oil, we're going to run the generator for about 5 minutes to warm it up, get the oil nice and hot so it comes out and we get all the dirt and all the dirty oil out of the engine. Our natural gas source today is plumbed straight out of the ground from a grill. So to start this, we're going to turn on our gas supply. We're going to come to the back of the regulator and we're going to prime it for about 2 seconds. We're going to make sure that economy is off, start is on. We do not need the choke and we do not need the gasoline fuel on, and we're going to pull the cord. Almost. Now the generator is started. We'll let it run for about 5 minutes to get warm. Alright, now the generator is run for about 5 minutes to warm up, get the oil nice and warm. We've disconnected it from natural gas, and the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take the side cover off. We're going to do this with a Phillips screwdriver, and it's just 2 screws in each top corner. After you get the 2 top screws off in each corner, you're going to start to pull it off. It's going to feel a little bit stuck, but there's about 3 places where you just have to pop the case off. Just with a little yank, and it comes right off. Next thing we're going to do, this is going to be our actual oil fill itself. We're going to undo this. We've set some towels down to keep everything nice and clean. And what we're going to do is we're going to unscrew this, and then we're going to tip the generator on its side. We'll open the oil cap. Be sure to put this on a rag to keep it clean. And we will lift the generator, and we'll tip it over on its side. Be sure to give it a few tips. Rock it forward, rock it back. Really let all the dirty oil come out of the engine. Once again, it's really important to rock it back a few times because there's not very much oil in here, so just a little bit of dirty oil can make a big difference. Now we have our dirty oil out. We can remove this to the side, and it's time to put our clean oil back in the motor. What we'll do is we'll grab our funnel and we'll open our 15,000 mile oil. The trick on to know how much oil to put inside the engine is to get it exactly level with the bottom threads. So do not overfill it to the point where oil wants to ooze out. Put the funnel in, pour a little bit of oil. It's a very small engine, it goes slowly, and you'll just have to use a little bit of patience. During the process, it's also a good idea to let the funnel come out, let a little bit of air fall in, and continue to let that oil fill in at its own natural pace. Continue to slowly add little bits of oil at a time. Pull the funnel out, let the oil fall out of the funnel and into the engine. Now at this point we've put a significant amount of oil in the engine. We want to test and see that our level is right. So we're going to tip it back, let the oil fall all the way back in, rest it back, and we're looking to see how far the oil comes up. After we've let it fill in the engine, it still has not come up to the bottom threads, so we're going to continue to put more oil in it. So we'll take our funnel, put it back in the oil fill, and we'll give it another little pour. We'll tip the generator back, we'll let it fall all the way into the engine case. We'll let it rest back to a normal level, and we'll see where does it come up to. It is still not come up to the threads, so we'll put more oil in the engine. Very small amounts at a time. Let it fall all the way back into the engine. And tip it forward. What we're seeing now is that when I rest the generator back to a normal level, we can see that the oil is starting to hit the bottom of the threads. I don't know if you're going to be able to see this or not, but when we tip the generator all the way back and then we let it fall forward, you can see the wave of the oil come up to the last little bit of the threads. Alright, we found the perfect oil level by letting the oil just barely come up to the last bottom threads. So we have the oil level perfect. We'll put the thread with the cap back on. We'll screw it finger tight, not too tight. We will take our case and we'll first pop it back into place. Just give it a good pop on all the corners. And then finally put the 2 screws in on each top corner. Not too tight. Now the last question we're going to try to solve is how much oil came out of the generator. This is the old oil that came out, and we're going to try to measure it to see how much came out of the engine. Put the cap back on the Mobil 1 15,000. Put that to the side. And it looks like we're getting about 1.5 cups of oil. So if you're around the 1.5 mark, that's about the perfect amount of oil to put in the generator.